Dream it, believe it, become it. A really quick one. I'm honoured to have my brother from another mother, Amer Abdallah, who just jumped onto the fight is right. Come on up. We just want to know. We want to know. We want to know what's going on, bro. That's what we really want to know. We want to know what's going on because we've heard of we've heard of the talk that's been going with your fighter Badou Jack, and now we'd like to know like what exactly is happening now with this fight.
Is that your horrible ringtone?
It was one of them. It was one of them. It was for me to test the sound.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
I was just fiddling with it. I'm not tech savvy, nothing. All I'm grateful for is that I know I can link anyone I want to link to. So that is it. I don't know. Don't ask me to do nothing else. I'm lost.
Fair enough. Yeah. So first of all, it's good to see you, brother. Assalamu alaikum.
Alhamdulillah.
So look, I'm a big fan of this, Spencer. And when there's negotiations, I'd rather not discuss the specifics of it. And I think that everybody should be due their the ability to be able to negotiate privately. And if the deal goes or doesn't go through, that shouldn't be made public at any point. So I'd like to respect the other side and not get into the details of the negotiations. It's just the way that I like to do business. But I'll tell you from a 10,000 foot perspective, Badou has a ton of options that he can choose from. One of those options was Canelo Alvarez. Another option is probably, possibly, doing something else within the cruiserweight division. He's got a mandatory in Noel, Don King's guy. He's got the rematch Makabu as an option. He's got, other options as well. So everything is really a possibility in what can happen. And I mean, I saw that it was public and with in the way, and it was great to deal with, and he knows the value of his fighter. And look, Canelo's the cash cow, and they want to move up to cruiserweight, but that doesn't mean moving up to cruiserweight. It doesn't mean bringing a guy down to closer to where he is at super middle. But and the argument is, look, well, Badou fought how many years ago? And that time is not the same time as now. So we're talking about the now, and the now is that's not where it is. So, but look, if the deal can happen, great, and we would love to have that fight happen. And if not, that's okay also. But to go back and talk about the details and this and that.
Well, it's not even a case of the details. What was out, and I saw that apparently, allegedly, Badou made a comment that, which I saw on another channel, saying that they wanted the fight at 190 pounds, but he would accept the fact that the fight was at 190 pounds. So that was the kind of things, because I know how you're a smooth operator. You know what I mean? For the Canelo. So I heard that, and that's why I contacted you.
No, I appreciate that, Spencer. Look, what Badou said. Badou is not a guy that makes up stories. He's not a liar. He's not a guy that tries to put propaganda. He's not a crap talker. That's just not his nature. If the fight was going to happen at 190 pounds, the fight would have been made. The fight was not at pounds. So it was much lower than that, and that's why and Badou put out that statement that the weight was significantly less than that. And look, it just doesn't make sense for him at 39 years old to drop 35, 40 pounds. It doesn't make any sense for him. So and that's, again, the fighters will talk and the fighters will discuss, and I know that they're tweeting back and forth and all of that. I don't get involved with that, but
I know you don't.
The fighter himself is, we told him what the demand was from the other side, and he shrugged it off. He said, "I'm just not going to do that." Badou is not a liar. Badou doesn't make up these fiction stories for any kind of clout. He doesn't need that. He's in a very good position to where he has, and there's other options. Would I like the fight to happen? Personally, I would love the fight to happen.
And if it was to go ahead, like, it would be under the Skills Challenge promotions out in Saudi Arabia, right?
100%. There, I mean, there wouldn't be another. It would absolutely be there, and everybody on our side was green lit that. But at the end of the day, these guys have to negotiate, and Team Canelo has to do what's best for Canelo Alvarez, and Team Badou has to do what's best for Badou Jack, and the fighters have to agree, and that's it. And if it happens, like I said, terrific, and if it doesn't, that's fine also. There's options for both guys, and we wish everybody the best. But at this stage, the weight is the issue, and I'll leave it at that.
Okay. Well, moving on really quickly because I know you're busy and I've got things to go do as well, right? There's talk because like what I've noticed about you, I mean, you're everywhere even when you're standing still, right? I don't know how you do it, right? But what I am saying is there's talk that Devin Haney is coming over to Skill Challenge and also Deontay Wilder. I know you don't like to talk out of business like that, but I'm just asking my guy, and I'm asking you.
I appreciate the question. I was hoping that would come up, Spencer,
Okay.
because
you should have prompted me before. You should have sent me a message.
Well, I like these. I like the interviews to be as organic as possible. I never shy away from any question, and even in our past interviews, I've always said that is ask any question. There's nothing off limits. But I'll tell you this: until you hear an official statement come from Skill Challenge Promotions, everything is speculation. You've speculated, and they have speculated that Deontay has agreed to terms with Skill Challenge, and Devin has agreed to terms with Skill Challenge. He's next, and that speculation probably falls on the fact that they came out as guests of Prince Khalid to Saudi. But is there any truth or merit to that? The answer is no. That doesn't mean that it can't happen, because we certainly would love to entertain those kinds of fighters because they're elite guys. You're talking about arguably the heaviest hitter in the history of the division and one of the best, the top 4 heavyweights in boxing today. And then on the other side of it, you've got the undisputed lightweight champion of the world. Young, hungry guys that we would love that opportunity to be able to sit and have that. But is that happening right now? The answer is no, and I don't know where that was derived from. And again, I think it's just mere speculation based on those guys being in the kingdom. I hung out with Devin last weekend in Detroit, and we were laughing about it. And he was like, "Where is this coming from?" I said, "I have no idea." I said, "Unless you guys know something that I don't know, that's not what it is. Talk every single day."
But I mean, if you did, just say like hypothetically now, if you did have, lost you for a second there. Yeah.
If what?
You see, the question was too powerful. The computer network couldn't take it. It was about to blow up, right? I'm saying if you did have the option of having Deontay Wilder, what fight would you make for Deontay Wilder? If we're speaking hypothetically now, if you had him right now, what fight would you make for Deontay Wilder?
Anthony Joshua, 100%. I mean, that's the fight that I think everybody would love to see based on their market value today, based on AJ coming off of a win, based off Deontay Wilder coming off of a win, based on where they are in their careers. I think that's a very interesting fight. The other option is Alexander Usyk. I think that, I believe that the Fury Wilder ship has sailed. I know there's talks about a 4th fight, but I'm not sure, how interesting that is. Is it a good fight? Of course it's a good fight. I'm sure Deontay would love to run that back. But for the fans, I think the AJ fight is absolutely the fight that everybody wants to see.
Okay. And same thing for Devin Haney. If you had Devin Haney, what fight would you like to make for Devin Haney? Because you're up in the kingdom. I mean, we're singing like, Busta Rhymes, the Arab money. What fight would you like? What fight would you like to make if you had Devin Haney?
Devin Haney and I have discussed this, and Bill, and there's a lot of options for Devin, and it really depends on if he wants to stay at 35 or if he wants to move to 40. And there's plenty to choose from at 35. You've got your Shakurs and the Tanks and Ryan Garcia, and at the 40s, you've got Regis, who just had not the best performance of his life, and you see the speculation of them talking, and I know that Eddie would love to do that fight. We'd love to work with Matchroom and doing that fight if that's the option that they want. And there's some other names that are out there as well. So I don't have a decisive name for Devin if we were to sign him, but I think he's in a great position in his career where coming off of a massive win, as close as that fight was, but it was a win. and being an undisputed world champion. He's got, and he's a free agent. There's a ton of potential for him. He can do whatever he wants to do.
Okay. Mr. Abdullah, I am so grateful for your time. I know that you're a very busy man. You're always jet setting. You're always doing something. If I'm speaking to you and you're not about to go into the airport, I'm really surprised that you're in Vegas right now.
I'm here for the next 2 days. But yes, thank you.
Thank you so much for blessing the fight is right. Dream it, believe it.
Thank you.
Please do fingers. Assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum salam.